Hey there, you're listening to You Still Going On About That with Rob Israel and Joseph K. You can find us anywhere you could download podcasts. You could also find us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at YSGOAT. Thanks for listening. I'm Rob Israel.
Joseph K.
You still going on about
that?
All right, Joseph. It is almost America's birthday.
It's yes. It's
Is
almost
July 4th is that like a real day, or is that some bullshit day? They're like, yeah, this is when it happened.
no. I think it was July 4th. And it's July 4th, 1776. No, that was
That room must have smelled so bad.
right.
Like when they signed the Declaration of Independence,
Yeah,
there were probably people just like passing out from like just all the feces in the air.
right. And it wasn't until like 1797 that America could drink, because it took 21 years. And those
And then it wasn't until 1801 that they could rent a car.
right. Yes, it was
Right? And they
baby
couldn't
steps.
collect Social Security until let's see, 1843. I
Oh.
don't fucking know.
Well, I'll tell you,
That was
yeah,
totally
back then the life expectancy was only like 40 years old or something. So
4.
40 years old or something. It was like,
Well, I guess if you were rich, it was different, but
oh yeah, yeah, always is. It's just still it still is.
You can afford the Blood Boys. That's how.
Yeah, right. Yes, yeah.
They've always had Blood
Yeah.
Boys. Give
Oh
me my
man.
blood boy. Seek him.
What a
George
what a
Washington would say, "Where's my blood boy?"
so gruesome.
You ever like when you hear the story about his like wooden teeth?
Yeah,
And then
he had
you're
a tooth
like,
boy, a little
and
puppet
what?
tooth boy. He had a tooth boy too.
No, his wooden teeth were, that was a lie. He had teeth. They were all, it was false teeth or whatever, and it was slave teeth.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's why I said
slave.
he had a tooth boy too. He had a blood boy and a tooth boy. He had
Yeah,
a blood boy.
I think it wasn't just from one boy though, the teeth.
Oh yeah,
I don't want to get too literal here, but
yeah.
I just imagine though, if you walked into that room in 1776, right? July. What a great
Yes.
month too to pick it, you know? Sure is like smelled like hot ass in there. Like
Yeah.
if you went to like uh what's it called where like horses are?
The stable.
Yeah, the stable. That's it. Yeah, yeah. That's it. Uh I guess I'm stable. Crazy Horse is like, I guess we're a little unstable. Oh God. Good joke.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna do that. I think I'll do that joke.
What a ghoulish time to be
Horses are a
alive.
little unstable. What are crazy people's horses? Where do they live? In
And
unstable.
unstable. That's pretty funny.
I
That's pretty funny.
have to write
Um,
it down.
yeah.
Sorry, give me a
Yeah.
sec.
No, that would be so I can't imagine going into like a person's home and they smile at you with like a mouthful of like seven other people's teeth. I mean, that's just how
I
like
don't think they do that today.
all like, but yeah, like back in the 1700s, like you said, like how ghoulish they would have been, like clearly not fitted in. They probably had like leather straps like holding them in place and stuff.
Yeah, like they all look like fucking Leatherface or shit.
They didn't have like Fix-It back then. Like
Yeah,
they
you
would have
know,
used like
polygrip back then. They just had
yeah,
like
they
horse
had like
glue.
right, yeah. So oh.
Dude, crazy. Here we go. Do crazy people's horses live in an unstable?
That's good.
Yeah, it's great. You're setting me up for failure, aren't you? Like,
No, no.
I'm
That's
gonna
a
go up there, and if it bombs next year, I'm gonna say my friend Joseph said it was good.
you just have to be careful because if someone has a mentally ill horse, they
Horse.
might get
Well,
yeah.
they're mental. I'm not saying the horses are mentally ill. The
Oh,
people are. If a crazy people, horses
they
live.
live in an unstable,
Yeah.
right? Well, there could be like I mean, because theoretically,
And there was
uh,
that one Native American guy named Crazy Horse.
yeah, but he was chief of the Sioux, I believe. He was a good man. Oh, that was Sitting Bull. Anyway. So we received a prestigious award this week uh here at YSGOAT. We
Yeah.
got a top pop culture podcast award.
Yeah, what's the I sent you the email. Who
Yeah,
is it from?
it is. Okay, so the
I thought it was
email
odd because it
came.
was sent to like my Rob Israel art email,
Yeah,
which is not the
not a
what.
so. Yeah, it is. This it's an organization called Million Podcasts, and I looked into it. It's weird, like because
Did you
like
give them your social security number and your mother's maiden name?
all they needed, because I called to get information. All they needed was my routing number, and and this is weird. My mother's maiden name. So I
Yeah, that was weird, right? I'm like, I don't know,
no,
man.
it is because I was like, what is this? Because like it's not like the Emmys or something where it's like a this is a guy started this a while back, and he aggregates podcasts that advertisers should
He
reach out to.
masturbates to podcast. And he said
Well,
that ours was 41.
right.
I don't know how he got in there. Hey, look at that. Let's read number one. Las Culturitas with Matt Rogers and Bowen Yang. Hey, he's a
Yeah,
famous person. He's on the SNL. Popcast with Knox and Jamie.
yeah. I've seen a lot of these.
Pop Apologist is number three. I'm just gonna read them all.
Yep.
Perez Hilton, number four. I'm surprised he's even like relevant in any way.
I am too, but there's still a lot of people.
Yeah. Entertainment Tonight is number eight. Dude,
Yeah,
we're nine this TMZ. We're just like 31 away from that. Hey,
yeah,
only this pop culture. Yeah, hey, dudes, fucking send us some fucking coffee already. God damn it. We're
right.
number 41 on the Millions podcast. We're sharing a space with
Yes.
Entertainment Tonight. Me and Joseph have never gotten paid to do this.
No.
Joseph actually pays me to do this, which is weird.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Oh, if you hear in the background this,
it was cool though. It was a cool little thing to get. And
third on the podcast is number 17. Let's see. 1980s now in the 20. We should change the name of our podcast so we go to 19. We'll call it
yeah,
1980s even more now.
that is a good idea.
We'll do. Are you still talking about the 1980s?
Right. But I've seen a lot, like you said, I've seen a lot of these. There's some I've never seen, but I don't listen to 100 podcasts or anything. I mean,
You don't?
no.
Pop
Like there's
culture.
one that's called Zile Ze Nopti. And the host is a person whose name is like a series of numbers and odd letters combinations. But
What?
number 52, Zile. But that could be like, that clearly looks to me like Dutch or something.
So number 40, right at before us, when it was cool, retro pop culture.
Yeah.
It's hosted by Carl Stern and Tanya Hicks. Hey, guess what, Carl and Tanya? We're coming for you.
Right?
We're gonna get you next
I
year.
don't know. Carl looks
Podcast. We're gonna be
huge.
number 30 fucking 9. You're gonna be. We're gonna fucking leapfrog over you. We're gonna drink your milkshake. Culture. And we gotta watch out because Culture Hang is on to our fucking
Yeah.
Miller and Hannah Davis.
Yep.
I would not be shocked if the 90th podcast on here, people actually make a living from it.
Could be.
Joseph actually makes a ton of money. He just doesn't share with me. He's like, yeah, this is something we do. And
That's true.
we've been doing this for 5 years. And since that, all of Joseph's teeth by now are gold.
Yes. And I haven't bought taco sauce in years.
Yeah, that's right. He gets all the free taco sauces and Baja Blast.
Right.
Where in that you go to the drive-through window and the person that works there blasts you,
Right.
takes a swig of Baja Blast and just fucking sprays
I
face.
drink Baja Blast morning, afternoon, and evening. I've developed what the doctors call quadribetes. It's
Rizzler beaties. A little fat kid. Still a
yeah.
thing? Do those people like bring the boom? Do they bring it anymore? Are they done? Are they still bringing the boom?
Bringing the insulin.
Rizzler. Rizzler's died at the age of 11. He was
bringing
460 pounds.
bringing the prosthetic toes. Bringing the
Rizzler is now finally a man. He has prosthetic toes. I can feel my feet again. He
He
does like
does look like if they ever
sounds
do a
like
live action King of the Hill, they should consider him as Bobby. It's like
he's too cool to be Bobby. Bobby's a sensitive soul. Rizzler does not have Bobby energy.
yeah, I could see
Rizzler's
that.
like I don't know if we might lose a placing in here, but I could say this as someone from Long Island and grew up around these people. The
Mhm.
Rizzler's a little fat Guido.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
And, and if I
He has like a closet full of tracksuits. Like
he is a tracksuit. Like he's a yeah, that's all he has. He's like Parmesan, he's like one of those people. You go up to him and you say like the Italian food like a little wrong, and he's like, it's a raccoon.
oh
I don't
yeah.
know. You know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about? It's a
Yeah.
manicoot. It's like shut the fuck up.
Right.
You never you have no cultural sensitivity for
Yes.
anyone else, but I have to fucking make
You're a
sure the
seventh generation American. You're
yeah,
so
yeah, dude, you fucking eat at Olive Garden, okay? You're like, you're about it. I'm more Italian than you. Like,
right.
hey, when you eat here, you're family.
Right.
Sounds
Right.
awful because my
Uh,
family treats me like shit.
yeah.
I should do
Oh,
that joke. That's an actual joke I did on stage.
I
Someone
like
laughed
that
at
one.
it, and that's what matters.
Well, we have
Hey,
a
wait, I mean, we're on here, guys. Like,
yeah,
we should start making the big bucks. We should
yeah.
start getting some corporate sponsorship,
Well,
right?
that's what I think this is because that's what this is this list exists to try to tell advertisers where they should be going.
Yeah, they
This
don't
is the
listen to us, and they're just like, hmm.
right. Yeah. We've
I we like to take a minute to work on our sponsor, Jimmy Dean's Sausage.
right.
If you want to develop colon cancer quicker than
Right.
normal, eat Jimmy Dean's sausage every day. It's like a time travel machine for colon cancer.
Shoot.
I,
Shoot. Do you want mandated colonoscopies 3 times a year? Do you want
yeah,
to switch to an all Jimmy Dean's diet of their processed pig parts and chalk flour biscuits?
pork slurry, the finest pork slurry in America. Slurry. That's
You
disgusting. What is
you
that? That's McDonald's when they get the.
yeah.
You always hear about like the McRib's back. Oh, I guess pork slurry was available.
Do you enjoy it all oink to tail? You enjoy
The whole pig just grinded up,
right.
the carcass.
Just
We removed all the quality meat parts first.
yeah, right. Have you God, that's honestly, we laugh about it, but that's Steak and Shake would probably put that on their marketing. Like
Make it somehow Nazi-ish.
yeah, we've rendered entire hogs.
You alt-right freaks.
Right?
We've stooped so low. Our sales
We've
must have been so bad at Steak and Shake that we started putting out Nazi beef tallow,
Nazi fries. You
Nazi
could
fries.
if you could light the tip of a fry and it will burn steadily for 3 hours. It's essentially a candle, fucking wax candle. So it's
A beef tallow.
yeah, put 7 of them on your kid's
Let's see
birthday
if I can
cake.
think of another let's see, since we're working on advertisements here, what's another good product we could do that we would be a reliable source for
Right.
ad revenue? Let's see. Doesn't have to be something ridiculous
Well,
like Jimmy.
clearly ivermectin. We would
Yeah, I know that's a little too on the nose though.
uh,
Uh Baby diapers, I don't know. Like what's
clearly
funny? Look, go
we
ahead, what?
would be up for the new Subway campaign with
Oh God, someone had a joke today about Subway. I forgot they were talking about like like he wants to be able to have a beer at Subway. And he said maybe I'm an alcoholic. But then he brought up the whole thing about I think he read it wrong. He made it sound like the company Subway were pedophiles
oh, okay.
and not just Jared.
Yeah.
But I think the problem was Jared was so famous. He was
He
literally
he
like the
was,
Ronald
yeah.
McDonald but somehow less creepier than Ronald McDonald, which is
Right.
the guy who was Ronald's like, you got nothing on me.
Well, do you remember the big Mike's Way trend on TikTok over the last couple of weeks? Have you ever been to a Jersey Mike's? You can order your
No,
sub.
I haven't. I went to it like one time. I haven't been there since, and every time I think about it, I'm like, I don't care about sandwiches.
Jersey Mike's is so good. Anyway, you order it, and then at the end you say, "I'll have it Mike's way,"
He
and that
spits
means
on
that
it.
you're gonna have this like pepper sauce on it with onion. It's a certain way of making the sandwich.
Right.
And there's a series of TikTok trends where people would go in there and order it Mike's way. It's very they were like practicing how to say order it Mike's way without making it sound weird. Then people would be like, "Hey, tell Mike there's no safe word," and they'd go into Jersey Mike's and order it that way and film it, whatever. And this one kid, after the trend had like kind of peaked, went into a Subway and tried to order it Jared's way. Like, really, I guess you had to see it. It was really funny. Rob is just blankly staring at me like,
I think let's do Let's do a quick ad for Subway. Come on
yes,
down
right,
to Subway for a $5 6 inch. Why only 6 inches? Because that's the way Vogel likes it.
right, yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
We're
they had
come to Subway. We're not pedophiles. Just our spokesman was.
right. Well, Subway. What was the name of that sandwich they had?
Subway's not
Uh,
allowed to be 500 yards near high school.
they had to relocate 33% of their
Well, Subway's away from public schools.
right. Yeah, they had that's right. Subway did have a sandwich called BMT. It was called the Bigger, Meatier, Tastier, which I think was the Jared Fogle.
Yeah, God, what a fucking nightmare, man. Like, that guy was like, I mean, they had that South Park episode, which was
Yeah,
kind of funny. And he said he has AIDS, and they're like, but then you find out he had health AIDS.
is he is he still in prison? Jared Fogle.
I heard Trump was gonna pardon him.
Yeah,
Eh, he's a good guy in a Jared Fogle,
yeah, he's actually director of Bureau of Prisons right now. He's actually, um,
He's in charge of children. I just put him in charge of children.
he is in yeah, he's still in prison. Oh, that's funny. You know what I read today? Speaking of another January 6th uh uh guy who got pardoned, was put in prison for the rest of his life again today. So
Or I'm
he was
assuming
threatening to kill the people that charged him for January 6th.
these people have no like
Morons.
critical thinking skills. They've only thought like, "Prayer Trump, he freed me," and it's like, yeah, dude, like that doesn't mean you get to go out and commit crimes.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I mean, it may mean that, but for right now, he's back in prison, and he's gonna be there
I
forever.
think at that point, I think Trump's like, I already did it. We're done.
Yeah, even Trump's like,
I
oh,
and
come
I
on.
only did it to troll everybody after winning. Like,
Right.
no one cares anymore. I made things so much worse that no one even gives a shit if I pardon you. So you're
Yeah.
not, you're, you made your bed. Go fucking sit in it, you fucking creep. Um,
That's I'm on the Jared Fogle Wikipedia page, which is
you're now
surprisingly
on a list.
well, yeah. I had to oh shit. I mean, and I live in Texas, so I had to enter my ID before accessing it.
Like a porn site. $5
He
foot long, something else, and
yeah. He his big defense, Jared Fogel's big defense was that the United States couldn't try him because he was a sovereign citizen, which I almost
what
find
does
is
that mean?
you've heard of sovereign citizens, haven't you?
I guess I haven't. No, what does it mean?
Oh, they're great.
They're great.
They believe that 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 when they were assigned a social security number by the US, that they were declared a corporation and that they are different than their name. So that's
But
why you'll
don't
see
we? Isn't that everyone then in the United States? Because if
they
you have
yeah, they believe that we're all like this, that you don't have to pay taxes, you don't have to have a driver's license, you don't need insurance,
they follow
because
laws,
yeah, I give anyway. Yeah, he's
that's what
so
we call the asshole excuse.
yeah.
The
And
the
then Wow. Yeah.
I wonder if that's ever worked in court.
No, it's literally never worked. All you have to Google, like, next time you're on TikTok, just enter, like, search for sovereign
And
citizen.
then someone will explain it.
Well, you'll just see video after video of cops. Yeah, cops, and that's the irony here, is that, like, sovereign citizens are generally, there's two types of sovereign citizens. There are the white libertarian sovereign citizens that are 100% MAGA, you know, and the cops are super patient with them.
Was
Like,
Jared Fogle, would he be considered MAGA? I mean, he's a
um,
pedophile, so probably, yeah, right?
yeah, probably. That's there's hit two of them already. But then there's another subtype of black sovereign citizens that, and it's a different type. I think it's called Moorish law, Moorish.
Moorish? Like the
Uh,
Moors?
no, Moorish law. What is that called? I think that's what they call it.
It was the
Um,
Moors, not the Moop. No, it was the Moops.
yeah, right.
That's the bubble boy
Moorish
in
law.
Seinfeld.
This Moorish law, in the context of Moorish sovereign citizens, refers to a set of beliefs and practices that these individuals claim exempt them from U.S. federal, state, and local laws. The belief is rooted in a misinterpretation of the Moroccan-American Treaty of Friendship from 1786.
That just
So
sounds funny. That alone, the
it's a
Moroccan.
misinterpretation of, like, a 300-year-old treaty. But yeah, these are people that trace their lineage back to Africa. That's why, like, in the US, it's mostly black people that have that use that variety of sovereigns. It's really interesting. It's all wrong. It never works. But anyway,
I mean, it sounds like almost like you ever have like that. Okay, I remember lending somebody something, and they wouldn't get back to me, and they were like, "Possession's 9/10 of the law," and I'm like,
yeah.
"Fuck does that mean?"
The times these people, like, kind of make sense is, like, when they get let's say they get a citation for not registering their car, and they go into court, and they're like, well, where's my accuser? I have a right to, and they're like, well, the state's your accuser. And
Oh,
the
like if the cop doesn't show up.
no, like, they want the actual state. They're like, since
Oh,
there is no state,
I am the state.
right? And then they'll say, like, I was that I wasn't I wasn't what is it? I wasn't driving, I was traveling, or something. They have all these, like, fucking little buzzwords. You can immediately tell when a sovereign citizen is opening their mouth, because they have all these little buzzwords that they use. It's anyway, I don't mean to digress. But
No,
apparently
it's fine. I mean, we're not a lot of stuff to talk about this weekend. I just think that's really funny.
it's really funny. And the
I
sovereign
have
citizen videos are great.
another product placement.
Let's hear it.
Oh man. Okay, hold on. Give me a second. Let's see. Gotta think of a product that's funny in itself.
Well, Tough Actin Tenactin is one of the funniest products ever.
Douche. Do women still use douche? That'd be the
I
ad.
have no
Women still
idea.
do you still use it? Oh, you all got them stinky pussies.
God. Yeah, that's gonna be a hard pass for me.
What, that ad? Yeah, we're
The
not
ad,
gonna.
yeah.
I don't think they're gonna pay us.
No.
Wash that stinky pussy. Yeah, use our douche.
Yeah, yeah.
I
They
might
used
not
to
be the right
advertise.
spokesperson for that.
Yeah, they used to advertise that
Like
on
a
TV
summer
quite a bit.
spring.
Yeah.
Yo, stinky pussy.
God.
Like it's like walking in a meadow on a spring day.
Yeah.
Smell the flowers. To clean out. Yo, stinky pussy.
Yeah, I don't see that flying.
You don't
But
think that? No, you don't think we're gonna get that ad?
no.
What about like the Tesla Cybertruck?
Oh yeah. I think
Tell people
they
that you're mentally disabled. By
right,
driving
yeah.
the Tesla. You want to get out of all responsibilities. Do you want to not ever be asked to help to have you? So you want to get out of like having someone asking you to help them move? Drive a Tesla Cybertruck. They'll say, "Hey, do you want to help?" And then they'll see you pull up in that Cybertruck and go, "Oh, never mind."
Yeah.
You want to
Yeah.
you want to be not considered a reliable person? Buy the Tesla Cybertruck.
Right.
Are you
That's what
trying?
they say when you purchase, like, Viagra, and they say, like, if you have an erection that lasts longer than 5 hours, you should either A, see a physician, or B, buy a Cybertruck, because it is a boner killer from what I
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah. Your dick will you'll be like, this is, I literally need to go to a doctor for this. There was no, like, I had to, but then I saw the Tesla Cybertruck and it defied all medical research.
Yeah.
Like, usually you have to put like a cortisone shot in your dick, but I don't know, something to tame the beast. But that Tesla Cybertruck,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's a boner killer, more like a female boner killer.
Yeah. After I said that, I was like, yeah, I kind of reversed that a little bit.
You want your wife to be as dry as Ben Shapiro's. Try this
Right.
Cybertruck.
Yeah, I don't know what they would call that, like a libido limiter, something like. There's probably a word for it. I'm not like
dates libido. You're
right.
welcome to Tesla Cybertruck. Talk about NFTs too.
Right. Yeah.
Talk about crypto. Yeah, we're gonna do an advertisement for the Hawk coin.
Yeah. Octua.
So supposedly, real quick before we go into the thing, I don't know if we talked about this last week or something. I saw a thing where she got in trouble again or something. She was at some thing with Whitney Cummings, very
Sure.
funny comedian.
Yep. Right.
Whitney Cummings. Me and her go way back.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. Yeah.
I'll talk about it in a second. So they got complaints for being being lewd, and they had to cancel their thing. And I'm like, her fucking Hogtaw's existence is literally about like spitting on a dick before she says it. Like, this is lewd. We would never expect this from the Hawktaw girl.
Right.
Sir, do you know why the Hawktaw girl is famous? No, actually, I don't. I thought she was just mentally disabled. Hawktaw! Just brain damage. It's not a word. It's just like
right. Yeah.
I had a neighbor years ago when I lived in Chico, and this woman was kind of an old drunk.
Yeah.
And I remember we went to her. She was Leah made a bunch of cookies to give people during Christmas. That was nice. And we gave her cookies, and she answers the door. She gave a cookie, and you can tell she was wasted. And she's like, "Goobies! Oh, I love goobies!" And I'm like, "Is that like a Chico thing?" And then I don't know. She died like a week later. So yeah, goobies was clearly code for
right. She's probably trying to warn you of something. She's like,
goobies.
I've been roofied. I've been
stroke.
roofied.
Yeah, I've been roofied.
You're like
No.
trying to hand her cookie. She's like, no, I need your help. I've roofied.
Yeah, I eat goobies. She had a stroke. And like, that's not. We're gonna do advertisements for strokes.
Yes.
Right. Why we're getting paid to do that? And who wants to advertise this? Big Stroke is that? We're in the pocket of Big Stroke. Hey, you want to lose half the size of your body if you're lucky? Have a stroke. Want to see your one side of your face completely drop off?
Yeah. That's rough.
You want to have no responsibility? Have a stroke and then drive a Cybertruck.
Yeah.
Wow. And then eat Jimmy Dean sausages every day. You'll be dead in a month.
Yeah. Yeah, probably.
We're gonna get like a fucking lawsuit from Jimmy.
Yeah, cease and desist from Jimmy Dean. We got something in the mail from James L. Dean.
He's been dead like 20 years.
James E. Dean.
Dude, I made a joke about it. Like when he died, I made a joke about the food.
Yeah.
And this one guy I knew got so offended by that. And I was like, really?
Yeah, that's a weird thing to be offended by. I used to eat Jimmy Dean sausages
other things
a
on the
lot
planet.
as a kid.
Yeah, you shit blood?
No, but like I remember probably for like 3 years when I was in high school. I don't know if this was like widely popular all over the country or if it was just like what I did, but I ate like these things that came in boxes. It was like microwave food you know, like the box they used to put Big Macs in that was like a paper box, like clamshell box. They used to make these like sausage biscuits and like chicken sandwiches, all these like fucking weird fast food in paper boxes, and you just microwave it and eat it. It's always terrible, but like I must have had, I'm gonna just ballpark it here, 1,100 Jimmy Dean sausage biscuits.
Oh, I
And
had like so many banquet meals and cheese.
yeah,
Like,
Nighthawk Salisbury steak and corn dinner, and like,
like if you got Swanson's, that was like
oh
considered like
yeah, la di
luxury.
da, right? I was
Oh, look
like,
at you, highfalutin with your Swanson's. I have my banquet.
yeah, the banquet. I went to
That was
many a
hot
banquet.
garbage. Banquet was garbage.
Yeah, it was weird. Like you'd eat like the chicken and you'd pick it up, and like the top of the chicken looked like a nice piece of fried chicken, but the bottom was like literally looked like my arm after
Pork
I've heard a
slurry.
really good song or something, you know, like goosebump, like pink goosebump flesh. It's all like wet
From
and
cooking in the
rubbery.
microwave, though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I discovered my dad would like whenever let's use the oven, and I was like, "Fuck that,
Heats up the house.
whatever." I don't know. Like, yeah, I was like, "Wait, food can be crispy and yummy
Nah.
if I just threw it in the oven." I know it takes longer, but like this
No.
nuked mush.
No, the chicken I had the consistency of a hard-boiled egg soaked in vinegar for a month. It was just like rubbery and kind of,
Bulbous,
yeah, something where
bulbous
you're like,
material.
this seems both smaller and bigger than I remember it, like at the same time.
Somebody that guy did a review on him. He does like voice work, but he does
Yeah,
a lot of food. And he's this black guy, and he has like a really good like he could probably be I don't know, like a radio or talk
yeah, yeah.
you know, he'd be like a
Good
voice.
timbre to his voice and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and he did a review on Swanson's, and he said the best thing is just the brownie.
Oh yeah, the brownie was always clutch. The apple pie was pretty good too.
Yeah,
Um, I
brownie. Okay.
liked how the exterior of it was like really, really hot, and the interior was like super cold. It's like the opposite of a hot pocket coming out of a microwave. Where
You want to
the
kill your Oh, here we go. Last ad before we move on.
okay.
Hot pockets. You want to kill your enemy if if your house is being broken into, cook a hot pocket and then go up to the person and squeeze it into their eyes.
Yeah,
They will
yeah,
die.
the hot pocket. Hot
Save the
pocket's
day.
pretty good.
Save your house and your life, your all your life possessions and your family with hot pockets.
Hot pocket.
Hot pocket.
Yeah, yeah,
And
the
like
Gaffigan
then you
bit.
have like a
Yeah.
criminal with like just melted
Right?
like his eyes were just melting out. He's like, I hate hot pockets.
And I would have gotten away for it too if it
If
weren't
it
for
wasn't
those
for these delicious
kids in
bacon
their hot pocket.
with the flaky crust.
Oh. All right, so we have an abbreviated list.
I can't
We
see
have
anymore, but I could smell and taste.
okay.
All right.
You're going to talk briefly about Ironheart. I haven't finished that yet.
Okay.
We both watched Murderbot and Squid Games, and then we have a few political things to talk about. The new budget that's crawling through the legislative process now. The
Hot
grossly
garbage
named
crawling through.
alligator Alcatraz.
That's
Um,
disgusting. Again, this is like these people are garbage, like DeSantis, and
yeah,
they're like, we call it alligator Alcatraz. It's like, dude, no one's
it's
gonna think
literally
about that.
a tent with cages for humans. Looks honestly like a kennel, you know, and it's
Like defies like so many war crimes.
yeah,
Like we live in like a bizarre country where
it really is. I'm
the
anyway,
right
I'm
is
going to talk
just
about that.
yeah.
And kind of along the same lines, people dying in ICE custody. And then we're going to end it with, on a hopeful note, with some Zohran Mamdani stuff. He's now officially the Democratic nominee for mayor of New York.
Didn't
Previously he
fucking
had won, but like he had to go through the process of certification and everything.
didn't fucking Andrew Cuomo say he's gonna run as independent now?
I've heard conflicting things, but yes, I've heard that may be the
He
case.
should just fuck
Um,
off.
yeah, well, Mamdani said like, look, we beat him once, we'll beat him again. Um, I I don't know. We'll
We
talk about
touch
him at
you
the end.
guys again. I'm Italian. I can't help it.
Right.
Remember that? It's still like the funniest thing. There's like Italian people are like, wait, what?
Right. Well, come on now.
He's not supposed to give away the secret.
All right. So the first thing now, I have not seen this yet, but you saw the final three episodes of Ironheart.
Yes,
I
it
saw the
was
first
good.
three. Yeah, you said it was real good.
That's it. It's gonna Murderbot. No, I was kidding.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to spoiler it too much. You told me some things. I was asking you about some details, and you shared them with me.
All right, I'll give
Sounds
one
amazing.
spoil. I don't want to ruin the actual ending,
Yeah.
but they were implying it, and I guess supposedly this was spoiled like a year or two ago. Anyway,
Uh-huh.
okay. Spoilers for Ironheart. I'm not spoiling the actual ending. I'm just telling you. I'm just gonna tell you who shows up, which is a massive spoiler and a big surprise. So if you don't want to hear it, skip the next like anywhere from 2 minutes to 6 hours, depending on what goes on.
Right.
There's no way to gauge this.
Yes.
Well, they kind of you watched the first three episodes and they implied
Yes.
that he was like talking that Parker was talking to somebody. See, I always liked the Parker name. It's kind of funny because when they released the comic in the late 90s, early 2000s, The Hood, the whole idea was like, what if like instead of like someone getting powers, we get to see a villain as opposed to a hero.
Right.
And they purposely named him Parker. I forgot what his first name is, but it was like a kind of a play on the whole Peter Parker thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Spider-Man. So that was like always like the twist of it and everything. And then he became like kind of a bigger villain in Avengers a couple years later. They brought him back. I don't know if he's still active now, but you find out. Well, I think in the comics the cloak is Dormammu's supposedly,
Okay.
and they actually kind of imply that in the show.
Yeah, I remember
And
last week I was asking you, is this magic per se, or are we gonna
it's straight
find
up
out
magic.
it's
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
because
straight up
like
magic. They're like, yes, a magic exists in this
right,
universe, not just like some like like in 2011, it's like Thor. It was like, are you God or are you like an alien race? It's always
right, yeah, yeah.
thing like, and they kind of imply that the guardians are just. I
Just
mean,
aliens, yeah.
they are, but they aren't. Like they have Valhalla. They've established they have Valhalla. They established as an afterlife that would not make sense for an alien race. Like there is magic in Thor. It's like he said it like we're magic and
Yeah,
I don't know. I think they didn't want to offend Christians or something
yeah, yeah.
like there's only one God. You mean Odin? No. And they're like, listen, dude, it's all made up. Okay, calm down.
Yeah, it's yeah.
How about this? Thor's dad is Jesus. You feel better now? Jesus never had any kids. Oh! How
Well,
do you know?
yeah.
Were you better back then?
Well, I
He
I
literally
thought
hung out with a woman named Magdalena.
Mary
Mary.
Magdalene, yeah.
Yeah, that woman was literally a whore.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, sex worker.
I thought that at first I thought it was a little ambiguous because sometimes you're looking at what looks like magic and it's really just like technology or something like that.
Yeah.
But I did get the feeling that it was magic, which was like an odd
Well,
fit for Ironheart because it was being sold as kind of like an Iron Man type show, which is pure
well, it
tech.
still is, but so you do find out there's some. I'm not gonna explain. There's some magical people that show up, and they basically say that there's the difference between like bad. It's not that there's bad technology. There's bad people that
Yeah.
abuse technology. I will say though, the atom bomb is probably
Yeah, it's bad
the
technology.
bomber
Yeah.
bad technology. But besides the point, they said though, but there's literally bad magic. Like there's evil magic. Like
Right. Yeah.
unlike it doesn't matter who the user is. The actual magic is evil itself.
Yeah. I see that in a
Um,
lot of like video games and TV shows where there's like regular magic and then blood magic. They usually call it like blood magic. That's the
yeah.
bad magic. It's like based in harm and stuff. So, um,
So the big reveal is that the cloak was from Mephisto,
yeah,
who
yeah,
is basically the devil in the Marvel universe. They introduced him in the late 60s to kind of skirt the comics code. Back then in the late 60s in the comics code authority, you could not have vampires because it's all in response to the 50s with all the horror
Hmm.
comics and everything. That's why like a lot of sci-fi comics were popular like in the early 60s because they couldn't do horror, they couldn't do undead, they couldn't do
Yeah.
zombies, they couldn't do, but then it started to loosen up a bit. So in the early 70s, started getting like Tomb of Dracula and all that shit. So they introduced Mephisto in Silver Surfer number 3 or something in the late 60s.
Hmm.
And they didn't call him like the devil. But isn't Mephisto just like
Yeah.
another name for the devil anyway? Like
Yes. I think
Mephistopheles.
Mephistopheles. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, so it's kind of a funny, it's like when they introduced Morbius
Yeah. Yeah.
in the comics, it was before when they were starting, they called him the living vampire. That's how they were able to get away with it.
Oh, okay.
He wasn't undead, he was living. He was a living.
Right. Yeah. Oh, there you
Like, I'm alive, I'm a vampire. Nothing you can do about it, Comic Code Authority.
go.
They're like, dreads. They found a
Yeah.
loophole.
Yeah. It's like Nicolas Cage in Vampire's Kiss.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, yeah. He's just crazy.
Same thing. Same thing.
Doesn't he die in the end? I forgot. I haven't seen that. I forgot.
I think he does actually.
Doesn't he like kill himself or something? Like, doesn't he stab himself with wood, like through the stake, or
Jeez, I don't remember.
or he falls on it and dies? But like, he was never a vampire. He just went
He was
insane.
never a vampire. That's the thing.
It was like I remember we said that it was like a weird precursor to like American Psycho. Was that the movie? No,
Yeah,
the one with the Christian Bale.
yeah, American
Yeah,
Psycho.
yeah. It's kind of like a weird, almost like a weird precursor to that movie in a way.
Yeah.
Like kind of similar in some aspects.
Yeah, yeah, Peter does die at the end, the Nicolas Cage character.
So yeah, you find
Oh.
out basically that Mephisto shows up. It's Sacha Baron Cohen. He looks human, but they got the whole look down. He's got long black hair. He's got like a goatee. His nose is already kind of like he's
Yeah.
got exaggerated features anyway. But it's pretty obvious that he's the devil. There's like one cool little scene, and then he does talk to what's her face in the end, and she calls him like Dormammu though, and he's like, oh, 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 oh. Like as like all of a sudden his voice is like a little more like weird, otherworldly,
Yeah.
like Dormammu is a joke or something. I don't know. He's like a friend,
Right.
and she thought he was. Uh, it was cool. I was shocked to see this character.
Yeah, for sure.
They've been like kind of teasing this fucking character for like since
Well,
Endgame.
well, we thought
He was supposed to
briefly
be.
that yeah, he was going to be in Agatha. I thought
Well,
he was going to be
okay,
in
we thought he
Agatha.
was going to be in WandaVision. That it was going to
Yes,
show
yeah.
in the end, he was going to show up in the end and be like, but then they did Agatha, right? She was the one
Right.
about dark magic, so everybody thought like, okay, he's a shoo-in to show up in Agatha, but they mention Mephisto. What's her face? She's like the only witch that survives in the end. It was played by that woman from SNL.
Oh, jeez.
She said something about like this person was like an agent of Mephisto, and that was like the first
Yeah.
time I actually said his name. And the thing is, though, supposedly Ironheart should have came out before
Right, Agatha.
Agatha, actually. And I really feel like they just kind of like ditched the show in a way. I mean, I'm glad that I didn't have to wait 6 weeks to watch all 6 episodes,
Sure.
but part of me is also like, there would have been some built up tension and more excitement. I think each episode was pretty good and pretty solid. Um, I don't know. I think Disney is like it does. I don't want to ruin it. I'm not going to ruin what happens, but I was just shocked that Sacha Baron Cohen was in this, and then he was
Yeah, that's a big
Mephisto.
deal.
I'll assume that I'm curious how he'll fit in if they'll use him in other. I mean, I would assume if they do any more Halloween type stuff that he would be in
Yeah.
some way, but I'm curious how they're if the because it's one thing in the Disney Plus shows, right? But I'm curious about like the movies. Who's like Chinese markets and stuff. They don't like that shit.
Yeah.
Like you can't even have it there. They won't even show it.
Right.
So I wonder if Mephisto is like a workaround also, or
I
they
don't
don't
know.
ever call him Mephisto in a movie, or they'll just edit it out in a the Chinese.
Yeah, I mean, it could be that he doesn't show up in like some properties, but does in others.
Like I said, it was just to me, it was like, okay, he's still like a big name, I think.
Yeah, I
I
think so. Yeah,
I don't know. I imagine it was like younger people watching, no idea who this guy was, but he's great as Mephisto,
I'll bet. Yeah,
and it's like kind of funny. I mean, he's like a trickster character, and
yeah,
that is what he is. But I find things around.
yeah.
Did you hear all that? You kind of
No,
froze.
you froze for a second, but I heard
Oh,
the
okay. It's funny when you freeze that, then and I see it, then I'm frozen on your end.
yeah, yeah,
Okay, I said that Ironheart is like the last thing to come out uh before the Marvel shuffle. I would say
yeah,
Daredevil probably was like the first real big thing to come out. Like Thunderbolt still was something that was pre-shuffling the deck of everything.
right.
Fantastic Four is like the first real like post, hey, we need to fix shit up and everything. But I'm curious with Ironheart, like it looked really good, the effects look good, the everything was looked good. Will they, if this gets a season 2, or if they do something with her character and future thing, I just feel like they're gonna cut the fucking budget because
Yeah,
they're gonna be like, yeah, we're Disney Plus doesn't make any fucking money or something. I don't know.
right. I
And I
don't
feel
know
like
that could be like I mean, like it could be, but it also could be that the budget. I think with a lot of the special effects and stuff, those prices come down. You know, a
what do you
lot of
mean?
that stuff, like a lot of the stuff that used to be very expensive to do with special effects with AI, and so I'm not like advocating for the use of AI, but like, you
Yeah,
know,
sounds like you are, Joseph.
no, I'm just saying like we've seen like versions of that for a while where like if you have a crowd scene for a long time now, you haven't seen all those people. Like it's
They would
been
clone people in. You would,
yes,
if you
they'd
look
clone them
really
in.
carefully, you would see dupes.
Right. And I think that stuff like that, I don't love, but like it didn't like ruin it for me. I think they're going to be doing stuff like that pretty regularly. Maybe like green screen
Didn't the
tech
head of
will.
Pixar basically say that they're using AI for like interstitial, like I guess in betweens they call it,
Yeah,
uh,
I've heard that.
which they'll say, oh, it makes the work easier for people. Yeah, that means people are gonna get fired.
Yeah, 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 and it's got like a trickle down effect because then you have just one fewer creative person on the set or one fewer creative person on the project.
One
Anyway,
fewer? It's more like a lot fewer.
I'm just saying, like for each time that happens, you get fewer.
Yeah, that's
Um,
the goal.
but we'll see. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's going to come of it all. But I am going
Well,
to finish up the series, and
yeah, it's
it's been
good.
great so far.
We'll talk about it next week then.
Yeah,
Like I said, sorry anybody watched it. I didn't ruin really. I didn't ruin shit. I didn't rig anything.
right.
Coffee flop.
Ugh.
All right,
Uh,
Murderbot.
yeah, I thought this was really good. These are all like real quick episodes.
I'll be honest with you. I kind of forgot a little bit of it. I saw it like last Thursday. I watched it like late at night Thursday because it I
Yeah,
believe Friday.
right.
And actually, I think I probably fell asleep during and watched it early Friday. But like, I don't know. I'm trying to remember what the episode was.
The big episode is it starts off with they got to figure out, do we get Garothan back to the med bay, you know
Oh yeah,
and
that guy. Yeah.
Murderbot's like, you're all gonna get killed, and the people are like, we gotta try. And so Murderbot's like, okay, we're gonna do it. And then
And this is where
eventually,
they
like,
find out that he killed a bunch of people because Garath he basically plugs into like Garathan or
yes,
something, and Garathan was
yes,
able to like take over his like by
his
doing
brain, you could see his brain. Yeah,
yeah, and he saw all the people he killed, like that those images that flash once in a while where he just
right.
killed a ton of people.
And the interesting part was how Murderbot reacted. He's like, "Don't tell them," or something. He was real scared. He didn't want these people to know that he had killed all those people, which is weird because, like, none of them are of any. None of them are a threat to him. He could kill them
No, they
all
made
easily.
jokes about that, like they're all like hippies. Oh, that was really funny. You find out he's like, I guess he's like Indian in real life. This guy, I don't know. He's the
Yeah.
one that like wanted to be like the third to the lesbian
Right.
couple.
Yes.
And you find out in this episode that he's into the Asian woman who's a little more
Yes.
like she's definitely like more non-binary looking compared to the other
Right.
one. And it's funny because the other woman's like kind of offended.
Yeah.
And the other one's like her partner is like, what? I can't attract. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't mind interested in, but like you're saying I can't attract men. It was just really funny, the whole
It was
thing.
funny.
And like
Um.
the fact that he was into her more, actually, it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Trying to think what else.
Well, the other thing that happened is that third party revealed itself and said,
Oh, and there was that woman from Handmaid's Tale.
"Yes,
Like the woman who was a Martha originally.
right." And so they are thinking like, should we make a deal with this team? And there's clearly not. They shouldn't. So anyway, Murderbot, they kind of they he kind of storms off because everyone like is looking at him like he's a killer, and he's like saying, "Look, I don't know if I killed these people." You know, I mean, it could have been a bad memory file. Like I could have
Yeah.
been ordered to. He's like, I have no idea. And like he puts out a pretty good argument, and I think he believes the argument um, that like I was under a governing chip prior to me getting rid of that governing chip, and I just did whatever people told me to do. You know,
Yeah,
like I didn't.
he's a soldier robot. Like
Yeah, it's like being pissed off at your toaster for toasting things. You know, I mean that's
get
what
it.
it did.
I can get mad when it burns things though.
Right.
That's why I take
But
it personally. I'm like, you
but it
motherfucker, man. I set you on a low end. You're still.
yeah. Well, anyway, he so he storms off and
Yeah, my toaster's a cat.
he's thinking like I should just leave, but then he realizes like I can't leave. I need them to leave. And so you can never tell if he's doing it like altruistically or if he's doing it because it's in his own self-interest. But the last scene is he goes back into the habitat and announces he has a plan. And so I think there's only 2 episodes left. My guess is that next episode is going to resolve the immediate conflict of the other team, and the last episode is probably going to resolve the overall conflict, which is what does Murderbot do? Does he stay with this group of
I hope
people?
I still have it. I think, man, I don't want to renew it for one episode.
Oh, the last one is on July 11th.
Let's see. I gotta look at my subscriptions real quick, and I can tell you. I might need you to tape it for me, and
Yeah,
that when
okay.
you're watching it on TV, you put your phone and you tape it, and then you can send me.
I'll tell you what, I'll go on Facebook Live and I'll just put my phone on top of there.
Why does it look like shit? What did you expect?
Right.
Zoom out,
I
Joseph.
literally have my phone balanced on a beer can and I'm taping my 32-inch TV.
On his natty light.
um so yeah.
Let me check this right now. Sorry. Subscriptions. Okay, let's see. Apple TV. Oh, you said what day did you say expires? I mean, what day?
11th. July
God
July
damn
11th.
it. Mine expires on the 9th.
Wow.
That's ridiculous.
Huh.
I don't know. Is there anything coming out next month that I might want to watch?
Um yeah, I think I don't did you ever watch Foundation? I think that's coming back.
I never watched it.
Did you ever watch Acapulco? That's coming back.
No, I never watched that.
Um
Worth watching at all?
it was no, I mean I wouldn't say it's like a great one. I watched it. It was kind of interesting because it's
Watch
about like
Schmigadoon?
no, it's not it's no Schmigadoon. The Schmigadoon prequel, Corn Puddin'.
Corn pudding. Oh, when she's in the fucking supermarket.
Yeah.
Did somebody say corn pudding? That's
Yeah.
the fucking funniest part.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see anything like major big coming out real soon. I know that show I watch, Invasion, is coming back.
Is that good?
I really like it, but like it is definitely an acquired taste.
I'll think
Um,
about it. I'll think about it. I just really did not, that $10 I could spend on,
yeah.
one Baja Blast.
Right, right.
I have boxes of Jimmy Dean's I need to buy now, and because I owe Jimmy Dean's an apology for I told him to buy a box of their delicious blueberry pancake
Yeah, right.
corn dog thing. Jon Stewart used to make fun of that all the time on the Daily Show.
Oh,
He would make fun of that blueberry pancake corn dog.
oh yeah.
There's a sausage in the middle, and there was like a blueberry pancake around it, and he
Wow.
would just like rip the shit out of it. Like
Wow. Wow.
I think he loved it secretly. They say if you talk about it a lot, you probably love it.
Yeah. Well, that is
Well, I love
Murderbot.
Trump.
You have like 2 weeks to figure out if you want to pay for another
2 weeks,
week, another
dude.
month.
I have do you know what day
Oh
it is?
yeah. Right, you're right. You got about a
July
week.
3rd. I got less than a week. We'll see. That there better be a good ass cliffhanger.
Yeah.
If the ending is just Murderbot going like some stuff will happen next week, I'll be like, I don't know why he would do that. That would be weird.
Yeah.
That'd be a weird thing. Like he just looks at the camera and he's like,
That would be the best is if he has a big battle this week and they cliffhanger it, but then episode 10 is just him in a back to tank. And he's remembering from back when he was not when he was a governed chip murder bot. And yeah.
the pocket tank.
All right.
Oh,
So
the last thing was in that episode though, they did show that the robot in the show he watches
yes.
turns on everybody like
Oh
kills
yeah.
them, which was pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
That show's funny. What I love about Murderbot is the show
That's
is
really good.
the people are like, they got the guy from Howlin' Kumar. I mean, he's been in tons of other stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
The guy Agent Coulson, who's been in a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
The Page, the Page boy from
Jimmy the
yeah,
Page.
yeah, that guy's great. He's been in a ton of stuff too. So it's like funny that like that's what makes it good is that the show has like recognizable stars.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
that's what makes it like kind of satirical and funny in a way. Yeah, it's a good show. All right. Squid
Yes,
Games.
Squid Games. Now this is the first 6 episodes, and
Well,
what
go ahead.
is there one more string of 6 or 2 more
No, this
seasons?
is it.
All right.
This is it for this story.
Okay, yeah, yeah. All right.
So, spoilers. They
Yeah,
reveal that the next one will probably be in America. They already said that. I think David Fincher is supposedly directing him.
I've heard that. I don't know that for a fact, but I've heard that.
Like when the fuck this is airing, I have no idea. This could be like
Yeah.
with Netflix, it'll be December or it'll be like July 2000.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, 2027.
Stranger Things will still not be out yet.
Yeah. I Squid Games is weird for me. I've always liked it. Like it's a good show. I mean, I would never say like it's not a good show. I think two things. One is I think it's like culturally a little overrated, in the sense that like I think a lot of people talk.
First season was very well done and tight.
Yes.
And there was a very long gap between this and the second season.
Right.
And like the first couple episodes of season 2 were not that great. Like they're okay. It could have been condensed down to one.
Yeah.
Ends like on a cliffhanger, and you're like, what the fuck? And they called it Squid Games season 3, but really it's Squid Games season 2 part 2.
Yeah.
It really is. I mean, it's not like a different show. Usually seasons they would have like a dynamic shift. I don't know. I liked it. I will say though, was I sad that what's his face died? Yeah, I was a little bummed that he
Yeah.
died. What's his name?
Jeez, these names are they all kill me. The lead
Because you're
was yeah,
you can't handle diversity.
so, and I can never pronounce them. Uh, Song Ji Hun, right? Is that what is that what it said?
The guy who was in the Acolyte,
Uh,
the lead, he was in the Acolyte. He was the Jedi.
yes,
Yeah, Seong, I guess. And then Hong, it was the cop who was trying to get his brother.
right.
So The front man looked like a different actor. Yeah, it was. I knew it. They did recast him.
Yeah.
For
I
season two, he looked totally. I was like, that's not the same guy. Like, right? The one who shoots his brother in the end.
I think that's a different actor.
It
Yeah.
is. Yeah, it's a different guy. I guess, I don't know. They couldn't get him. I don't know.
Well,
But
my other knock against Squid Games is, and I think they fixed it here to some extent. My daughter watched Squid Games for the first time ever like a week ago. So watched the first season, and we were talking about it, and she was surprised at how slow it was and how she thought it was all going to be like that giant red light, green light thing.
yeah,
She thought every episode was going to be like
something fucking
nonstop
Mr.
that.
Beast. Yeah.
Right. But instead it was like it wasn't. And I think season one did a really good job of like making it about this one person and his circumstances. And then after that it was more so about like the general unfairness of society. You know what I
Well,
mean? Like,
he went back into the game because he wanted to save people, and then he didn't. And then people are like, "You're the only one that's surviving." I was like, are you
yeah,
setting us up? And then it is a little crazy that he's the sole survivor until he's not, but he's the sole
right.
survivor. And it kind of reminded me a bit of the ending of Snowpiercer.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like when Chris Evans' character confronts Wilford,
Yes.
and he's like, "You could be the guy, and I'm old. You can be the new. Well, you could be the new me.
Director or whatever. Yeah.
You made it to the front. You get to be in the front." And then he sees like the little kid that is basically running the engine,
Yeah.
and he has like a like conscientious like decision of like, this is all garbage. Like, I don't want to live in a society that relies on like grinding up like small children to keep it going.
Yeah.
And which the TV show just totally missed the boat on. That
Yeah, it
show,
did.
it
Yeah.
just it missed all the I mean, fine, yeah, Snowpiercer, the movie was very more hard hitting, but yeah, that was the fucking point.
Right. Yeah.
Class and everything, and how humanity was only surviving based on this Wilford putting, because he said like this part went extinct years ago and there's no way they could replace it, so they just need a little kid to just go in there and
Yeah.
fucking keeps the engine going, and he frees the kid in the end, and he sacrifices his life, like
Right.
he mangles up his hand like the guy in the back of the train. Now I know I'm talking about this, but it kind of reminded me of a similar ending
Yeah.
where he couldn't save anyone, and then that pregnant girl gives birth, which I thought was a little whatever. I mean, it's like crazy. Uh, and she has the kid. She dies. She ends up like jumping off
Hmm.
kills herself. Well, she couldn't. There was no way. Her fucking ankle was broken. There was
Yeah.
everything broken. She was not going to survive. Like there's that whole scene, and it shows you how fucked up people are when they're pushing people off the bridge. Like if you survive the jump rope, and it just shows you then how the Squid Games work. Is that the obstacle courses are the people in the end. It's not even the fucking what they do.
Right.
Like the
Yeah.
jump rope, people were able, which I found crazy they were able to do that. I would have been like dead after the first jump.
Right. Right.
But and then that guy just starts pushing people off as they get to the front,
Yeah.
which was super fucked up. He's like, "Yeah, I can win this game by just making sure that they can't get over." And then
Right.
Hyung, I think that's the way you say his name. Um, he wants to save people, and he has the baby. He told him, "I'll take the baby," and he has the baby the entire time. And because the the pregnant woman, the guy who knocked up the I forgot her name, the pregnant woman. Let me just say
Jeez.
the pregnant. First of all, it's insane that the Squid Games that they would have a baby, and you see the rich
Yeah.
people talking about it, these sick fucks who are just like, and then they're in the ending, you see their faces like they're just like, oh, that's sad, because he kills. See, basically the front man said like he was gonna find a way to make sure that Hyung and the baby would survive. He's like,
Yeah.
I could get you out of here, like, but because that idiot died,
Right.
he couldn't like vote to not play, I guess, because you can't
Yeah.
vote against the baby.
Right.
So that at that point there can only be a one winner, and so he puts the baby on like the. And let me tell you, it was a very adorable CGI baby.
Yeah.
It's like, it's like
It did. I
not the
thought at
creepiest of
first that
babies, but
it just looked like the dancing baby from Ally McBeal. That's what I
it looked
thought.
like Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah.
The dancing baby. That thing looked like shit.
Yeah.
I remember that was such a big cultural moment. The
It
dancing
was,
baby.
yeah.
I never watched that show.
I did. I yeah.
And
First
I
season or
like
two are fine.
Futurama's parody of where the alien invaders liked the show Ally McBeal. I forgot they had a different name, like Lady Lawyer or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, yeah.
They had to make new episodes for them.
Right.
the, I guess they showed up like by the time they got the signal for out, and there were no more episodes left.
Right, right.
Man decided to invade Earth. So he says like we're not horses or something,
Yeah.
and it was weird when that song played. Goodbye, horse. Is that it? Is that
God,
the song? Goodbye, horses.
I don't remember
Hold on.
that.
I feel like that's it.
Yeah, could be.
And then he kills himself, and it's like, hey, where is it? Oh yeah, here we go. Sorry, this is important.
Yeah.
Here's an ad. I gotta lower that down here. It's for our competitor, Domino's.
Right.
Hmm. Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, that played in the background.
Right. Yeah.
I thought that was weird. Let's
Yeah.
turn. Okay, so I will say him making it to the end is pretty insane. Just because the
Yeah.
nature of the game is like it's almost next to impossible. Like you winning is almost by luck.
Right.
It
Yeah.
really is. Like unless you're just so devious, like that guy in the end, who's
Right.
just like, let's just push people off. And then the ending. Oh, I that one guy, that one older dude who made it to the end. He's like such a piece of shit. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. He got
He gets pushed off by the pipe in the end.
right, yeah. In like the fifth episode or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's in the end when like the last people on the Squid Games was like the symbols, and they were on the pad, and they would
yeah.
basically push people off, and they would die. And he gets pushed off eventually. But like they were like all talking about like, oh, we'll split it. You know, it'll be seven of us, and they wanted to kill the baby, which is
Right.
insane. Like they just like completely lost their mind. And even Hong knows that like, dude, it won't be enough. Like, okay,
Right.
you
And yeah.
kill the baby, and then you guys are gonna kill each other, and then the joke will be there won't be no winners because you'll all be dead. So the fact that he survives, it's sad. I kind of wish his character had some more justice. Um,
Yeah.
I feel like, but you know, he leaves money to his daughter, or the front man makes sure. The front man gives his brother the baby, but
Yep.
gives him like basically the baby's winnings.
Yeah.
Wait, how would Han though? Oh, I guess I don't know. No, would he get any money? He died. I mean, I guess he killed himself. I don't know how it works. I mean, like, would he not,
Um
or did Hong just make sure to get money? Like, he's like, yeah, I don't care. I'm gonna split this. Like,
I don't know. I don't know. I don't honestly I don't know the
because he in the first season, Hong gives his friend, the guy who was like friend, his childhood friend, who they end up killing. He ends up he kills himself. That guy. He
well,
kills,
by him killing himself, the baby's the winner, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And that in the second season, the first season, his friend kills himself. He stabs himself in the neck, kills himself, and
Right.
Han gives either half his winnings or that guy's winnings to make sure to give it to his mother, the guy's mom, because his mom died. You find out in the
Right.
beginning, like his mom was dead. It was kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
And then in the end, he wanted to make up somehow, and so he gives her money. She like so she can like I don't know enjoy life or something.
Yeah.
uh, but so he basically the front man gives this guy this baby, but with all the money, like the gold card. They get a gold card, and then he gives the gold card to Hong's daughter in the end. And that's when he's driving around San Francisco, or I think or LA. I forgot what they said it was. It was
It was
California.
LA.
And he passes by this alley, and you see these two people, one in a suit,
Hmm.
playing that game that they played to get people, to
Yeah,
enter.
hooked into the Squid Games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And if you win, and I forgot, there was like to get in the game or something. You have to like win it or something. I don't know. But she smacks the guy just like the other guy smacks you.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, it went to the camera goes to her, and it's Kate Blanchett, and it's like, oh, that's a big star. And like I said, I don't know when it's gonna happen, but there's supposed to be an American version. Kind of look
Right.
forward to it because I feel like that'll be a way to make it very different. Because I feel like the problem with season 2 was did except for some interesting characters that were thrown in there, it felt a little repetitive.
Yes.
Um, like I said, I'm kind of sad the main character died, but I watched a thing afterwards. There was like a half-hour discussion with the three, like
Oh, okay.
him, the front man and director, and he said he would like to see like a prequel with the front man, how he got it. But they kind of showed a little flashback of him, like how he got
Yeah.
it. Um, the original, the old man is the one who talks to him and basically because
Right.
he does have the front man invites him to his office to make him that offer.
Yeah.
Listen, I'll get you out like of this game. Even he knows it's like this is sick. Like as a baby, it's ridiculous. Like
Yeah. Um, I don't know. Yeah, I
the
think
fact that they would
honestly,
have a pregnant woman in it is insane.
yeah, you can do a lot with a franchise. I mean, I think that it's good to have like an American one. You could definitely have one anywhere in the world, but you
It
could do things like
shows
the
you that like it wouldn't just be here. Like they
yeah, it's
have
a real
operation.
flexible premise. I
And
mean,
actually, it probably with how everything fucked up everything is in the United States with Trump's president shit.
yeah,
I think this actually worked really well. I feel like they should do something different though. Like
yeah,
it
something a little
should be
different.
almost like it should be like Running Man or something. And speaking of that,
Yeah,
the Running Man trailer dropped and it stars
yeah,
that
it looks real
guy
good.
he's like a new star. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, yeah. I
Go ahead.
don't know him real well. I know you told me he was in a bunch of stuff, and I did look him up, and I recognized him from a few things. But
What I like
he was in
about this,
Twisters.
yeah, I didn't watch that because
Yeah,
I refuse to because I heard like they don't even mention global warming once, and I'm like,
yeah,
the
yeah.
movie about out of control tornadoes.
Right. Well, the movie's directed by Edgar Wright, so you
Yeah,
know it's going to be
Glenn
yeah,
Powell's the lead. Yeah, I mean Edgar Wright has a style. This is
yeah,
gonna look good, and it looks very different from the Schwarzenegger one.
right,
I did heard though they digged up the bones of the game show host. No,
right.
it's what's his face? It's called
Richard Dawson.
Domingo is basically the what was his
Yeah,
name? The guy.
Richard Dawson.
Yeah, he's like the Richard Dawson character. Dude, Michael Cera's in this movie. I don't remember seeing him in the trailer.
I don't either.
I wonder if he plays one of the killers. That'd be funny.
That'd be real funny.
You're not gonna get past me. I'm gonna get you when I'm done. I'm gonna get
Yeah,
you. You won't be able to
mm,
get past me, Ben.
yeah, that'll be good.
He smoked it like a cigarette.
Mhm.
I heard Tobias is in it too.
It'd be fantastic.
Yeah, he's playing Tobias too. He's not playing. He's like Tobias is in the Running Man. He's like, I'm gonna blow all these guys out. And I'm like, wait, what did you say?
Right. Gotta be a better way to say that.
Well, yeah, it looks good. Sean Hayes is in it.
Yeah.
William H. Macy's in it. That actually looks good. I kind of want to see that one. I want it. It better not be fucking toothless.
I'll bet you it's
Like
good.
I want it to fucking be scathing. Like
I'll bet
that's
you it's
I want it to
uh,
be like about society, how fucked up it is. Because like he answers the Running Man because his daughter's got like is gonna die. There's no health
yeah,
care. Like none of that's bullshit, middle ground bullshit. Like no, you can't really kill the rich guy because then you're not any better. No, fuck that.
yeah.
Eat the rich. I want to.
Well,
I want to get angry after seeing the movie and start a riot.
yeah. Well, this is
Great.
probably a good place to transition into the political stuff. Because it is. I mean, like
That's sad reality.
yeah, the Trump big beautiful bill,
Big, beautiful.
which is it's really gruesome.
I know it's so gross.
The weird thing is it predominantly fucks over these rural red state communities. Like a lot of
The
them,
people who vote for him.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I had a friend who said that they're going to stop talking about what Trump did and what Republicans did and whatever, and start talking about what Trump voters have done. You know, like
What do you mean?
say, like instead of saying like Trump built alligator Alcatraz or whatever, she's going to start saying Trump voters did this. If you voted for Trump, you did this.
Who
And
said this?
it's just a friend of mine. I saw her talking about it on Facebook.
Oh, I thought you meant like a big.
No, it's just regular. Uh, and I think that's kind of a good point. Anyway, the budget is a bad one.
I wouldn't
This
say
is,
Trump. I'd say the fucking Republicans.
yeah,
I'm so sick of that. That's the thing. I think we're never going to get out of this problem. Is if that's where the Dems fail all the time. Is you got to stop this bullshit that there's like good Republicans. Not to say the voters. I'm talking about the party itself and all the
yeah,
fucking politicians. It's like Trump's just their id. Like he's just doing what they want. This is all happening. This is stuff Trump. I mean, is it happening worse because of him? Yeah, probably because he's a billionaire ghoul and he was
yeah.
paid for by billionaire ghouls to be in there. Doesn't Elon Musk hate this bill, but probably for the reasons that you don't like it?
Yeah. Elon Musk hates it because it guts all electric vehicle subsidies and it guts a lot
Well,
of
I
clean
can't
energy.
believe the
Right.
guy who's against the environment would do that, Elon, you dumb moron.
Yeah, he's threatening to primary any Republican that votes for it, but I don't think he will. I mean, I think he's just like talking off the top of his head. The guy's an idiot. But anyway, the
No,
Senate
no,
passed it. It passed in the Senate 51-50. Which is a terrible reminder that had the Democrats held on to the Senate, that it would have not have passed. But JD Vance came in and broke the tie and passed it. And then I got sent back to the House where it is now. If the House passes it, it's a done deal. And it fucking wrecks Medicaid. It really it puts millions of people out of health care. It makes it harder to keep your Obamacare subsidies. It
That's
just
been their
makes,
goal from day one is to get rid of all that
yeah.
shit.
It guts clean energy things. It takes away like Energy Star, energy credits. It really is like a terrible, and then it gives tax breaks to things like gun silencers and all sorts of random ghoulish shit.
Just shitty. Yeah, this is it's all made by trolls and just
Yeah.
garbage people. It's like
Yeah.
a joke.
It's like I think that's the real bad thing about Trump is odious and he's a shitty person and there's plenty about him to hate. I'm not saying like it's not Trump's fault because a lot of it is. But the worst thing about Trump, I think, is that he has put the dumbest, worst, most untalented people in charge of everything. You know, like he'll put Kristi Noem in charge of Homeland Security or
Yeah,
like
it's
a
garbage.
21-year-old. There's like this
That
21
guy,
year
yeah.
old
What is this guy? Like everyone's like keeps showing his picture. He's like this ugly dude. He looks like he's 50, but he's also
Yeah,
like a gardener. Like what? I don't.
yeah, he was a gardener, and then he like worked on a camp. Anyway, he got nominated to be like the director of counterterrorism
That
or
is
whatever.
literally something at Idiocracy when
It is.
you meet the cabinet and there's that little redheaded kid and
Dude
he
looks like John Ralphio
yeah,
from
but
Parks.
not as fun and
Not
like
as fun. Um, but anyway, so
where
I
he
think
goes,
that's
I'm gonna be terrible. Puts his hand in front of his
yeah. Um, it, and so all these people are making these decisions that are going to be really monumental, really difficult to. These are the people that are like Trump said, well, I want to get rid of all illegal immigrants. And then he puts all these terrible people in charge. And so then now they're going after legal immigrants. And then they're going after naturalized citizens. And then I mean, like, and Trump doesn't care because he's moved on to the next thing, like he's
yeah.
just left all these shitty people in charge. Anyway, so if the House passes it, it's a done deal, you know? And
The
who
senator.
the Senate already passed it. They gave it back to the House. The House has to pass it, and the House will pass it. I mean, there's like probably about 15 Republicans saying they won't vote
Like
for it because of
Roy or whatever
fiscal.
his name is, the guy from Texas supposedly holding it up, or
Chip Roy.
yeah, he'll fucking pass it. They'll all
Yeah,
get
they
passed.
all passed. They all live to
I
do it in
don't
the
get
end.
it. I really don't understand how this keeps happening. Everybody's lives are gonna be destroyed, and they're still gonna blame Democrats or something.
Yeah, well, there's a guy from Massachusetts, a Democrat, who said like, who in the hearings today, or the meetings, was just like, well, I can't believe you guys are doing this. This is one guy, was Republican from Wisconsin. He's voting for this package. It's going to put in his district alone 30,000 people off healthcare.
It's insane.
It's crazy, I mean, like, it's just so self-destructive and terrible.
They should be forced to, you know how they always try to take when, and this was happening a lot when Biden was president, it happened during Obama too. Whenever Democrats are in charge, the Republicans that voted against anything decent,
Yeah,
they take credit for it and try to like, and then like Biden would come out and be like, "You voted against it, asshole."
yeah,
Like,
yeah. Lauren
so,
Boebert used to
like
do that all
I
the
feel
time.
like those same Republicans should be forced to go to their constituents and say, "Yeah, I voted to cut your fucking health care."
Well, the Democrats should be doing that. You know, there should be ads. I should be
Again,
seeing
they
ads all the time talking about how, hey, you got an Obamacare subsidy a few years ago. You're not going to get one next year. You know why? This asshole. I mean, that should
Yeah,
be an ad I should be
literally
seeing.
ruined your life. Like your life is going to get,
Right.
you won't even realize it. It's going to be like a year until you
Yeah.
realize how much your life fucking sucks.
So, um, I don't know. It sucks. I'm sure it'll pass. You know, it always passes. Republicans always fall in line, but we'll see. We'll see.
Murkowski woman, she sucks. Which I was
It's
always like, stop
horrible.
putting faith. Yeah, what she did was she like was willing to do as long as like some things were removed from Alaska. Some of the
Yep.
horrible shit was taken out of Alaska, and she's like, okay, good, I could vote for this now.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like you do realize you are you're senator to that state and your constituents, but you're also a senator to the country as well. Like
Yeah. It's crazy.
because Alaska's
Even
really far away doesn't mean
Well, that's the thing, is that even the best Republicans will still let Trump do whatever he wants. There are no best
I mean, I'm so
Republicans.
tired of it. It's the entire party. People need to stop like this fucking namby-pamby, like, oh, there's some good Republic.
No, it's not.
No, prove it to me. Show me some facts. Show me how they are.
Good Republicans are now independents.
What?
The good Republicans are now independents.
If
They're
they're
not
even in
Yeah,
politics anymore. If
they're
they're
not.
in politics, they're not in that
I
party.
just meant voters. Like, a good Republican voter is not anymore a Republican voter. So yeah.
I don't know.
Well, okay. So the next thing is this
No, I don't think we
alligator.
should blame the voters though. I mean, we should, but I think it's like blaming climate change on people and not corporations.
Yeah,
I don't agree with that. I think that, like, yeah, of course, obviously there's some responsibility, but there's also like lots of propaganda
yeah, but
that
people don't
that
vote
is
for corporations.
what?
Corporations just people don't have an option to vote for a corporation. People had the option to vote for Trump.
Right, but
Everyone who voted for Trump
corporations
knew what
that
he was doing.
and right-wing media and all that are influencing people to vote for Trump.
True.
Like
Yeah.
most people have no critical thinking skills. They don't. They don't care.
No.
They have no idea. They don't pay attention until like a week before the election, and they'll say, "Well, Trump says that he's going to lower my grocery bills."
Yeah.
Kamala didn't, so he went on Joe Rogan. Kamala didn't, so I'm going to vote
Right.
for Donald Trump. It's like you can't fucking fix stupid. People are dumb. They're gonna like. You just can't have. You just have to hope shitty people are not in charge.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I don't think it's fair to blame the voter. I mean, I think yeah, there's specific people who maybe know better, but I think that this is like 50 years of right-wing media brain rot, and Trump is like the apex of this.
Yeah.
Like
It's the end
I just
result. Yeah.
yeah, I just don't believe that I just don't think it's fair to attack the voter. That's all.
Yeah.
I mean, like, yes, voters should have some blame, but like I said, that's like blaming people for global warming and not the polluters.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's a terrible point. Yeah. Um.
I was gonna make a joke, be like, don't know anything.
Well, speaking of a terrible point, alligator Alcatraz is
Gross.
this horrifying. Okay, so first of all, they
Even
built
alligators
this.
are like, this is gross. Leave us out of this.
The first one, they built this in the Everglades, which is a protected state land. It's a beautiful, kind of pristine. It's like Florida the way Florida was before people fucked it up. And so DeSantis built a prison in the middle of it.
Of course he did. This is
It's
a
just basically like razor wire, chain link fence around these concrete block uh rooms with like literal cages in them. It looks like, I
I
don't know
mean,
if you've
no
ever been.
AC.
Yeah, no AC. It looks like if you ever go to a humane society or like a city run kennel where they pick up stray dogs. It looks kind of like that, you know.
Fuck
Um
yes.
and DeSantis and Kristi Noem were like chuckling and laughing it up on a tour today or yesterday.
What's
And
the
then,
name of that congresswoman that we always make fun of? That's crazy. She used to not be super crazy. Now she's like,
oh, Nancy
yeah,
Mace.
Nancy Mace.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I want to look up that tweet she posted. It's awful. Yeah, it's her like in a like wearing a I don't know, Kevlar or something. And
Okay.
it said like, "Dear DHS, we've got a swamp and a dream. Let's talk. South Carolina Gators are ready and they're not big on paperwork. If I was governor, we'd be bringing alligator Alcatraz to South Carolina."
Yeah.
Dork.
It's so dumb.
It's
So
garbage.
anyway, it's this the first day, today was the first day it like opened technically, and it flooded. It's inoperable now. The whole thing flooded because the Everglades is essentially a flooded
I
plain.
mean, you're not supposed to like have anything develop on it because it probably can't hold it.
It's technically a river, a large river,
It
a
has like
slowly mo-
that has
yeah,
like, some plant life around
right.
it.
It's an illusion that it's dry land. It's a giant river.
Can
So,
you stand
and
on it?
yeah, yeah. When you go to the Everglades, there's like roads that go through it and you can walk. I camped there when I was in like sixth grade or whatever as part of a school trip. But the thing itself is like this giant river that kind of flows from Lake Okeechobee into the ocean. It's really kind of interesting. It's got like mangroves and like dry spots in it, but it's essentially like a giant river. Um and anyway, it flooded. Not even like a terrible rain, it just
Did people
flooded.
die? I hope not.
No, I don't think there's anyone in it yet. I think they just kind of opened it up and said, "Okay, we're ready to go now." And then the whole place flooded.
Fucking idiot.
Um, it was
Well,
built on the cheap
people
by all
tax
these.
dollars and
Well, it was all like Ron DeSantis crony friends built it on the cheap. These no bid contracts. It was just the whole thing was a grift.
so fucking
Um,
crap, man.
it is. It is.
Isn't his wife running for governor?
I think she is not, because I think Byron Donalds is the Trump supporting guy from, I forget the
Oh,
district,
that
but
guy. That
yeah,
guy is such a fuck.
he's
So pathetic.
dumb as a stick. I remember him and his wife are like a pair of grifters. He had a whole
Yeah.
bunch of drug convictions not that long ago. He's running drugs, and his wife is like a charter school scam artist. Um, and so naturally they're like big heroes in the Republican Party. Um, and he toured it with Trump and Noam, and so it was kind of like a pre-governor run photo op. Uh, I don't
Whatever.
know. Yeah, but at the same time, there's
It's
been
just
people.
disgusting. It's just how they talk about it. It's like they want alligators to kill people.
Yeah, well,
Like, that's funny.
it's like, I don't know. The frustrating thing is that it used to be, if shit like this happened, you could go to court and you could say this is wrong, and you'd get a hearing, but you don't get that anymore. Because the Supreme Court has said whatever Trump wants to do, he can do. You know,
Yeah.
um, and I don't know. It's really awful. And people. This was the next item. People are dying in ICE custody. There's a 75
Yeah.
year this 75-year-old guy lived in the United States for 60 years. Guy from Cuba, and they picked him up, put him in ICE custody, and then he died. Like, just they're killing people. They're like, it was straight
I
up,
mean, isn't
literally.
that the goal in the end, really? It's just like, hey, we're just trying to get rid of people and
I
send
don't
them.
even know. I think a lot of it's just like incompetence. I mean, I think a lot of
I
them, they
mean,
don't.
I think it's pure evil either way. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, yeah,
their intentions are evil. Their ability to enact that evil, though, might not be as mechanical as the
yeah.
Nazis. they're meaning, they're not well meaning. They tend to harm people and hurt people.
Yeah.
The goal, that's why they exist. And
I
um
don't it's just I see a lot of these on TikTok now too where people come out, mostly women, and they're like, my boyfriend has lived here his entire life. He was brought here when he was like 2 years old. Um and this is all he literally just lived, and now he's in prison, you know? Like that's a relatively common thing where like a couple from Mexico comes here legally 20 years ago, has a kid. Sometimes they bring a kid with them. The kid's 1 or 2 years old,
yeah.
and then they grow up in the United States. They're 100% American, but they're now what are they? They're like chucked
Yeah, they
back
want to
into
kick him out. They want to. I mean, it's just the fact that people let Trump. You know what? I want to blame right wingers, but I also want to blame like the so-called left that
Mm,
what stayed home or didn't vote
yeah, yeah. I mean, that's
Kamala.
just as
So
bad.
Trump won. Listen, we can make the argument that Kamala sucked. That's fine, but I would take a shitty Kamala, the shittiest version of Kamala
Yeah,
any day over what Trump has been doing. Like,
yes,
I'm sorry. This
yeah,
is again all presidential elections and even a lot of any national election or statewide elections is harm reduction.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
Make sure make sure people don't die.
Mm, yeah. Well,
That was Ted Bundy speaking.
mm.
And I believe in harm reduction.
All right. Well, we have one last thing, and this is a good one. Zohran Mamdani wrapped up he is the official Democratic nominee for mayor of New York.
Yeah.
And quickly, all the labor unions that had supported other candidates jumped on board his candidacy and his campaign, which was real nice to
Gillibrand
see.
apologized.
Good.
Fuck that lady.
Um,
The reason why Al Franken's not in the
yeah.
Senate
Yep.
sucks. You know, she was like a former fucking Republican. You know that, right? Back in the
Yeah.
day.
Yeah. I would. That makes perfect
I remember
sense.
when they announced that Hillary Clinton picked her. A lot of people were pissed. They're like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. I would say that he's got a clearly a real good shot of winning. Trump came out and said he's going to deport him if he wins.
So
Um,
stupid.
and I think that's honestly the best thing that could happen to Mamdani is a beef with Trump.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
mean, fuck.
um,
A lot of people were giving like Stephen Colbert shit. I guess he interviewed him like either before the election or after,
yeah,
and he was asking questions, and people were like, "Oh, he's not what he was. He's turned to a boomer or something." And I'm like, "No, he was bringing up ridiculous questions and letting him answer them because he knew
yeah,
he could answer them well and
right, right,
bullshit." So I don't know. Um, yeah, it's kind of disappointing seeing like Democrats or so-called Democrats not
yeah,
supporting this guy and like it's just ridiculous. It's like, does he have a chance of winning? Yeah, but there's a way for him to lose too. And right now, I don't know.
yeah. I don't. I mean, like this is clearly a symbolic thing. Mayor of New York's not a huge.
It's fucking huge, dude.
I'm just saying, like for
Mayor of New
national
York, think
policy,
about it.
like
Those people who are governors that don't even have the amount of people that live in New York City.
oh yeah, yeah. No, I don't mean it's not a huge deal. I just mean it's not a huge deal for me because like the mayor of New York's not doing anything policy wise that's going to affect me. I mean, like not really. They
He
made symbolically.
closing
They
down all
made
the White Castles, Joseph.
well if they like
Listening to
when they
them say,
did.
"Oh,
I remember when New York started taxing the hell out of cigarettes, and it started to work, and they had fewer smokers, and they raised some, and then other states did it. So yeah, I mean, it does
let
have
me
a
tell you, talking about earlier with the 1776 and that
yeah,
much that fucking room smelled like horse shit.
yeah,
Uh, him, well, Bloomberg got rid of cigarette smoking, or made it illegal to
yeah,
smoke in
okay,
bars and shit. And let me tell you, man, like I've heard, I was like, oh, it good. I don't care. I loved it because it was like the only like I think it's like one of the good things he actually did.
right,
And they did a study. It said that like heart attacks went down over the years and it's related to cigarettes and stuff like that.
yeah,
So I remember going to a show a year after the law went through, and there was no cigarettes anymore in New York.
right,
At least like you have to like go outside or something. But we went to a show in Jersey and they didn't put that law in through yet, and my
Oh yeah.
die. I
Yeah.
mean, not that I had so much tolerance for cigarette smoke, but this was like everyone was smoking. They're like, "Yay, like we could do this."
Yeah. That's funny. Well, that's what we got. That's what we have for this week. And I got
My
to gear
feeling
up.
with Zohran is just that, like, I could, because it's New York and not other states, that he could lose because of like big time Democratic leaders.
Yeah, and they could like, yes,
They could
and
cripple him a little bit, you
he
know.
and Como could split the vote, and Eric Adams could win re-election. I mean, all sorts of things could
Eric Adams
happen.
is such a joke. I can't believe he won to begin with.
Yeah. Well, anyway, you're right. There's are paths to both victory and loss here. So we'll see. We'll see. But we got the 4th of July to celebrate now.
Yep.
Every year, January or July 2nd or 3rd, I wonder, will this be my last weekend with all 10 fingers?
Yeah, don't blow your fingers up,
Right.
Before July 4th. I'll tell you this, I don't like this time of year. I always get like bad things happen to me. I'm not a fan of this time of year.
I tend to agree.
I don't know why. Why for you? Like, is it just like it's the beginning of the summer?
For me, well, it used to be when I taught and I had summers off, I really liked it. But now it's like it's super hot. Your air conditioning bills are crazy. The days last forever. It feels like it feels like you should be doing something, but there's nothing to do. I don't know. I know in literature.
So what?
In literature, the summer solstice is always like when big conflicts occur. That's when like Romeo and Juliet got killed, and a lot of that movie Do the Right Thing took place on the longest day of the year. Like a lot of these, it's like a common time for conflict.
We went over the peak, which is the solstice. So now the day will slowly
shorter
again. So like, let's see, what times they get dark around me? Let's look at this. 8:30.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. Let's see. Time it'll get dark 2 days from now. 8:29. Whoa, vampire.
Nice.
Yay! 1 extra minute of night. One at
the
2.
count. Yeah. My sun sets 8:41 p.m.
It's because it hates you. It's Texas.
Yeah. So who loves
I live
the sun?
on top of it. Maybe it's because I live higher than you.
Could be. Yeah. All
right. But now, right? Technically, right now, I am 1,000 feet above Joseph.
Yeah. Oh, well, probably more than that, right?
Oh no, more than that. I'm at a mile.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're probably like 5,000 feet above.
I might be more than a mile.
We are only at like 48. We're only at like 48 so feet above sea level here. There's a way you can tell on your phone. I forgot how, but like it'll tell you what your elevation is.
That's crazy. So, good to see you all the way down there, Joe.
Yes. Always good to look up and see you.
Yeah. when I make fun of Texas, I'm punching down.
Right. Right.
All right.
Well,
on that note, I'm Rob Israel.
I'm Joseph K.
And you still gone about
that
4th of July. Thank you for listening to You Still Gone On About That. Please like, comment, share, and if you haven't done already, please follow us on Instagram, YSGOAT, Facebook, YSGOAT, and Twitter, YSGOAT. Thank you, and have a great day.